Give me a minute, because the, video fix for the low.
Sure.
There you go. Okay, ready?
You're gonna count me?
Okay, ready? One. Up one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Easter. And as you can tell, we're going to have fun today. We're going to have a very playful Easter. My name is Reverend Deborah Grendenganberg, and on behalf of the co-pastors and the Board of Trustees, we welcome you to Colby Memorial Temple for our Sunday Easter service today. And thanks for being with us. We appreciate you. To begin our service, Reverend Sheldon is going to light our 3 candles, symbolizing the body, mind, and spirit. Let's give him a hand. Thank you, Reverend Sheldon. Please rise now for our opening prayer and remain standing for our first hymn. Infinite intelligence, great spirit, we give great thanks for this beautiful Easter day. And we give thanks for all the beautiful souls who came to attend this Sunday service here in Cassadaga this morning. May each person here be uplifted in some way this morning by this service. And just take that inspiration forth into their day. And for all these blessings and so much more, we say thank you, thank you. Amen. Our first hymn this morning will be led by Jamie Osmond. She still has some laryngitis, so she's going to start us off and then kind of step back a bit. So we all have to sing loud and play those tambourines this morning. Our first hymn is number 159, Open My Eyes.
Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, the will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendest clear, and while the wave must fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Only now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my mouth and let me bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my heart and help me prepare love with my children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my heart, illumine me, Spirit divine. Thank you. You may be seated.
You were doing a great job with those tambourines this morning. Thank you. Located on the handout in the front cover of the hymnal are our Declaration of Principles. Please join with me now in reciting those principles together. We believe in infinite intelligence, We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Now, the healing prayer is located at the back of your hymnal. Please recite with me the prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. Now, for those of you who would like to receive spiritual healing, please take a seat along the wall and go to the next available healer. And you can sit on either side of the temple here. While the healers work, the rest of us will join in a guided meditation. And so just allow yourselves to get comfortable in your chairs. And close your eyes and prepare to journey within. And taking a full deep breath in, inhaling as comfortably as you can. Sending the warm energy of your breath to any part of your body that is sore or tense or tight. And releasing that discomfort as you breathe out, so that more and more you can feel safe and comfortable and relaxed. And any cares or concerns you may have brought with you here today, these too are sent out with the breath, so that inside you can be still and quiet, like a lake with no ripples. Just letting go. And now imagine a place out in nature where you feel safe and peaceful and easy. It can be a make-believe place or a real place. It doesn't matter. Just so it's a place that feels good and safe and peaceful to you. Using all your senses to fully be present there. Noticing the colors, the smells, the sounds, maybe of the birds. Just breathing in and breathing out. And finding a place to sit down in this comfortable space. A place to fully relax and let go. And as you become more and more attuned to the beauty and wonder of this space, the wonder of creation, you begin to feel a divine presence all around you. And you can truly feel the grace of infinite spirit right there with you. And as you breathe in, just allow yourself to take in fully and deeply all the boundless love that infinite spirit has for you. You are loved completely by spirit, who looks past the surface, any seeming mistakes that you think you've made or not made, and just sees who you really are. A perfect and precious creation of the infinite. A perfect reflection of light and love. That can never be extinguished or tarnished in any way. Just allow yourself to feel God's grace shining upon you now, embracing you for just being who you are. And loving you for who you are. And I invite you to say these affirmations silently to yourself as I say them. I am truly living in a state of grace. I am one with infinite spirit and all of creation. I live my life with an open heart. I am the arms and legs of Great Spirit as I share my light and love with all of life. I am a light worker. And I am so lovable in this moment, just the way I am. And now I invite you to just give thanks for all the blessings that you have in your life right now. All the blessings that you are grateful for, especially at this Easter season. And allow yourself to feel in your heart and in every cell of your body that you are loved beyond measure, simply because you are. And still feeling the loving grace of infinite spirit surrounding you. You feel yourself coming back into this room in Kobe Temple, into this time and space, feeling yourself in your body, your feet on the floor, maybe even wiggling your toes a little bit, and feeling the energy of Mother Earth just coming right up into your legs, into your feet, into your torso, all the way up through the crown of your head. And just giving thanks for this sacred time together. And knowing in a deep place that you are better for this. And so you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back to Holy Temple. If you have received a healing resulting in a correction or improvement this morning, please complete the yellow card in your hymnal and give it to the pastor at the back of the temple or mail the card into us. And you can even place it in the collection plate. And this is what it looks like right here. And it always helps especially the healing students with their lessons and what they're learning. So that we appreciate that. We'd like to thank our healers for sharing their gift of healing this morning. And the healers from that way to this way in order are Jackie Arnold, Cynthia Preston, Darlene McCormick, Marty Hadaway, Reverend Dr. Sheldon Yanber, and Daryl Demerit. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, you can give them that hand. They do good work from their hearts. Please stand for our next hymn now, number 174, Wonderful Words of Life.
Wonderful words of life, let me receive. Wonderful words of life, words of life, and beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life, beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Oh, you are wonderful words of life, everlasting love you are, wonderful words of life, all so freely. Thank you. You may be seated.
Now I have the honor of introducing our guest speaker this morning. Reverend Diane Davis has been a medium, intuitive counselor, and teacher for over 4 decades. Her workshops and readings are filled with humor, insights, inspiration, blending with knowledge of mind and thought, and always playful spirit. And that's why it's great that she's here today, because I think I'm sensing we all feel kind of playful today. So she's the perfect person to speak. So thank you, Diane. Presently, Reverend Diane is teaching a series of workshops on natural law. As Reverend Diane says, these laws are the keystones to the philosophy of spiritualism. In this series of workshops, you can explore how they operate in our world and how to apply them in your everyday life. So please join me now in a very warm welcome for Reverend Diane Davis.
You know, usually I try to listen to Hot Stuff by Donna Summers before I come. Really, I do. And I also like to listen to We Are the World, the first recording. And so this morning, I had about 2 minutes of each of those songs because there was a beautiful song, and I'm going to really mess his name up probably, by the pianist and composer, Yakima. And the song is called Kiss the Rain. And it's a really lovely song. It was also the theme music for a movie, and I have forgotten that name. So you'll have to look up this tidbit when you get home, because I know you're going to be really curious, right? So normally when I'm up here, I also tell you about my wardrobe dilemmas and some of my hand cream experiences. So today was not without an opportunity to do a little sharing. And that is because I saw this little white spot on the cabinet in the bathroom, and I was already dressed and I couldn't figure out what this little white block of stuff was. So I put it on my finger. It was moist. I put it right here. I just am warning you because I thought it was moisturizer, but I think it was mousse. So it also is a strong indicator when I do this that the spirit of us works best at play. And I understand that. I speak on that all the time. Yes, you've heard it and you'll hear it again, I'm sure. Today, I really didn't have a topic. I kept rolling around with things I wanted to discuss and things that I wanted to encourage and things that I wanted to sound profound and inspire. I did not find a quote that I was going to just give to you all and make this magical, wonderful day. But you know what I am doing? I do realize that Easter is a wonderful time of year when life is shifting. And we in Florida get to enjoy it a lot. We see a lot of the shifts and the changes. And in the north and other areas where there's heavy weather going on, they might not have had that opportunity yet. But when I walked out to get in my car this morning, there was a turkey in my yard. And it looked like what I would call a domestic turkey, not a wild turkey. It had the red, it had its tail feathers were, and you know what was beside it? A little tiny baby. What's a baby turkey called?
Baby turkey.
I tried to go, turkeylet, you're cute, whatever you are, but they're a little fuzzy, and it was ever so small. And I thought, oh, and this is the kind of thing that I just wanted to give you today. The wonder of life and the wonder of you. That all of your life, me included, you're going to see amazing things. You're going to experience amazing things. You're going to have opportunity to experience and experience and experience on a daily basis, and you get to add to you constantly. When you think that life is empty, or you think it's just a challenge, or you think it's just a particular way, think again. Because if you haven't gone through new realizations and understandings in the last few years, I don't know where you had your head, but does it feel sandy in your ears? So, and I mean that. I go on the computer, I'm having a lot of difficulty enjoying my TV, and that's my personal situation because I'm a typewriter refugee held hostage by electronics. But the thing is that I go on the computer to check the weather because we usually have weather. And when I do that, all of these things on MSN come on down and start to show me all the celebrities, all the people who have taken selfies of their baby opening a present, all of the dogs doing funny things, or the cats being kitties, or the political crazies that go on where everybody's so darn judgmental and opinionated. Do you ever really get truth? Do you? So that's the thing about wonder. You have within you this wonderful place, and it's a place of curiosity. When I walked out and saw that turkey this morning, it wasn't like I have lived on a farm. It wasn't like I knew what I'm calling it a domesticated turkey, because the wild turkeys that we often have had over in this area are dark brown and totally brown. This was not a totally brown turkey, and it was chunky. But the wonder of it all, there are people, when I go out in the morning to get in my car, and I go to breakfast a lot, is that I wonder if there are animals that are trying to have some sense of habitat in our backwoods back here. And so there's a part of me ready for something to come out of the woods. Years ago, I was sitting up, we had a concrete picnic table up the hill by our office, which is at the end of this road. And I was sitting there with a gentleman who is our association director at the time, and we were just chatting. It was a pleasant social kind of moment, but just a moment. And some of you may have heard about this, but suddenly the bushes were rattling. I mean, they were, we're waiting for the elephant. And we're both just sitting there, not knowing how to move, should we move, whatever. And out of the woods comes a potbelly pig. And its little tail is just a wagon, and its little hindquarters just moving back and forth. And it obviously had gained some freedom to be coming our way. Curiosity, what do you have? So the sense of wonder for your future, I want to ask you to ask yourself a question. What do you want in your future? What do you want? Easter is a time of new. Easter is a time of beginnings. Easter is not a classic Christian celebration in our church. And yet Easter has a lot to do with history. It has a lot to do with clarity and the people that honor it for all the reasons, because the Druids celebrated long before AD BC. But one thing I will mention to you is this time of the year is a time when you might see a baby animal. This is a time when you may have a little spark of an idea of something you want to accomplish and do. This is a time of year when you may feel the freedom of the blossoms starting to come out. And so within you, your life may not have all that, but you may be exposed to the energy of it. The energy of it is that infinite that we speak of. And that infinite resides within you and always will, from your first breath to your last and beyond. So what is it that you want? Because if you're only looking at the past and thinking how it has to be just like that, well, I'm here to tell you, you may have a good time, but you're going to get stuck. And the stuckedness that I feel has to do with you can look all around us and our surroundings are constantly moving, changing, becoming different. How are you going to live with that difference? It's not always easy because there's so many challenges and so many things that can interfere. And one thing that I don't teach a lot, I don't use the expression, this is positive and this is negative. I don't teach natural law that way, and I'll tell you why. Whatever you're participating with in your life, whatever it is, whether it's your health, whether it's your money, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a new business, whether it's an old business, whether it's a house falling apart, it doesn't matter. You're participating with it because it is there. What happens when you start thinking that you have to think differently about something is you have automatically created an adversary. If you think you have to protect yourself from something, you've created an adversary. Do you intend to do that? Of course not. You might have good reasoning for that. But how can you feel your own intuitive capability that that infinite will push and shove, and that infinite will nudge, and that harmony that you're wanting to feel about anything, the wonder? How can you have that if you are afraid or in fear or looking at everything as wrong or bad? Just saying. So, see, I have the microphone. Jerry fixed it for me. So let's just talk a moment. What are you allowing yourself to look forward to in your future? Here it is, Easter. We have a busy spring coming. There's all kinds of activities that are going on, and there's all kinds of cars that you get to drive with. Yeah, right. And just checking to see if you're awake. And there's also a whole bunch of opportunities that you can take advantage of and that you can participate with. But are you? So what are you allowing you, and what are you giving allegiance to? And the allegiance I'm speaking of is your participation. How are you participating with your life and the things that you're wanting to accomplish? A lot of people come to us for readings because there's something they're wanting to achieve or gain. Is it just the communication with those who have passed away? No. Sometimes it's about life circumstances, issues, and needs. And sometimes in that, there is a desire to confirm that. But what are you wanting? And in that, are you participating with what you have? And in participating with it, have you given it a chance to expand or be done differently? Have you allowed yourself to experience it just a little differently? Or are you holding on to your opinion? There's this other thing that occurs also about trying to take control of life or controlling other people. We're seeing governments that are still trying to control in the way they have for many, many, many years. That isn't wrong or right. Our government in the United States is our government. Other countries have their governments. They may be operating differently, and that isn't bad or good. It just is what it is. And yet we judge a lot, or we have such an ability because of the internet and the news to feel that we're in the living room of another place. But what about the control that you want for your own life? And is that control a tight, strict, brittle, rigid thing? Or is it perhaps a flexibility of that spirit that Reverend Deb mentioned in the meditation just now? Is it a place where you can feel that inspiration and feel the impetus from it? And are you allowing them? There's a place that you'll discern it, and it will feel maybe that your dreams, your goals, the things you want, that perfect relationship you think you ought to have or didn't, whatever, and it may feel really far away. Or it may feel like you're smothered in some way because things are so close in terms of your emotions, your feelings, your situations. And what about the balance that you want? What about the balance that you want? Well, Easter is really neat because did you ever see an Easter egg basket that was perfect with colors, perfect with formation, perfect with decoration? No. And you know why? Every basket that has been created has had a purpose to it. Every basket, whether it was done in a hodgepodge fashion, whether it was done by a 2, 3, 4-year-old, or whether it was done by an 80-year-old, it doesn't matter. It was still the perfect basket for the perfect moment. So our discernment of things is, how do we look at it? And our balance about things is, how judgmental are you? How much do you see life and you find this wrong or this good or this right or this wrong? And I'm not knocking any of it. Remember that computer news that I read? Well, there's a whole bunch of this opinionated right or wrong, good or bad, and there's a whole bunch of people lending it or giving it. Choice. Choice. So we have within us this wonderful thing of knowledge. And you know, there's certain flowers that come back. They come back. This year, the azaleas in my yard that haven't had a whole lot of attention. Just one day I walked out and it was like magenta all over. And I just went, oh, how about you? Are you noticing things? Are you looking? And the knowledge that you have, you're going to add to it constantly because Easter gets to do that. Easter is the beginning of so many things. And beyond that, there is a place that you can allow you to have a wisdom with it or an insight of it. And it can be fearful or it can be joyful, and you get to choose. That's the incredible part. You get to choose what you do with it, how you assimilate it, and how you either share it, keep it to yourself. It doesn't matter. Kiss the Rain was playing, and it's a very flowing piano piece. And I thought of my own mother. And I thought of all of the challenges that she had in her little child life. And yet out of it was an incredibly good pianist, very good writer. And those were things that I didn't really value heavily because they were just her. But what about you? And what have you learned in your life? And what have you taken to heart? All of you have talents. All of you have dreams. All of you have hopes. Those are not a mistake at all. That infinite is filled, and you've heard me time and time again say the infinite is everything and one thing more. It is always more. It's that next breath you're taking, it's that next blink of your eyes, it's that next opportunity, it's that next relationship, whether it's tentative or whether it's permanent. Life always has more, and that's the reason why in seeing the turkey this morning, it made me realize how you never know. You don't know all the answers. Some people are very busy, kind of trying to keep life really safe, trying to keep life really steady. That's fine. But when something comes along and the wind blows, what's going to happen to that tree? Is it going to have the mobility and the flexibility to handle the wind? Or is it going to crack and bend and die? That isn't good or bad, it just is what it is. So we were singing Open My Eyes. We sang wonderful words today. And I hope that you take those with you, because the wonder of you is like the child when it holds the lightning bug for the first time. And it grasps it in its hand, and the lightning bug or June bug lights up and it goes up. Try to see a up today. It might not mean anything to anybody else, but it might be yours. And in that, there is healing. In that, there is encouragement. In that, the awesome mind that you have, that AWE, awesome, that you can be curious and you can want. And then with all of those steps you can take toward what you want, go for it. Because if you're saying, I can't do this and I can't do that, it may mean that you really are saying, I won't. And that's okay. But that in itself is an absolute. And if you have a ton of absolutes, they make people very stiff, stiff-willed, stiff in the brain, stiff. There are all kinds of articles out there about your brain. There are all kinds of articles talking about the mind. There are all kinds of articles talking about spirits. There are all kinds of articles you can read about anything and everything. There's magic with that, and then there's overwhelm with that. Choose, and make sure that what you're paying attention to this Easter day has a little bit of that awesome experience. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It might be a big deal. It doesn't have to be something that you put on a marquee on your yard to let everybody know you've achieved this. Then again, it might be. It might be. But trust the fact that all of you sitting here today have accomplishments, have value, have life, because the infinite in you isn't separate from you. The infinite in you is there prompting and being with you always. So the wonder of you is when you align with it, because you begin to embrace it within yourself and understand that it's that impetus that might have done something when you were 6 years old. It's that impetus you had when, how old is everybody here? I've got to make sure there's no children involved. Okay, but all of those things that you have performed or done or thought or places you've lived or been, all of it has value because it has been what it has been. The amazing, wonderful thing now is you have what you have. You have what you have today. And you will have what you will have. So what are you going to put into that place of the future that allows you wonder and allows you the continued joy, hope, and expansion that you're seeing out in nature more and more now here, and that you're feeling within yourself of wanting to achieve or gain or understand. And what I would say is, keep going. There's a little basket that I have with me today. I will take it to the back when we conclude. Don't leave early. Because within the basket is a kiss for you. No, don't worry. I'm not wearing a mask and don't need to, but it's not from me physically. It's chocolate. Thanks for being here and happy Easter.